What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Seven Figure Flipping Podcast. And I want to be one of the first people to say happy Thanksgiving to you. I don't know if you're listening to this on Thanksgiving or later, but I will tell you, if it's later than Thanksgiving, it's afterwards. This is going to be a great show for you because I think this is something that hits us all really hard. I was in church on Sunday and this message hit me really hard, and I want to share it with you because so many of us, especially us Christians, are torn between making money and following God. So this was something that I think will serve you and help you well, and it's served me for the last few days as I've been wrestling with it, and there's some actionable, tangible items there. So happy Thanksgiving, and I hope this message of gratitude and contentment and all of the giving and all the things and the blessings that I'm going to talk about will serve you well.
My name is Bill Allen, and I'm the leader of a group of elite house flippers and wholesalers called Seven Figure Flipping. We don't brag or show off our success, but instead let integrity and stewardship be our guide. We are dedicated to helping people unlock the freedom they desperately need. If you ask other real estate investors, they will say to keep your secrets quiet. But we believe in abundance, not scarcity, and that's why we are the elite. We are Seven Figure Flipping, and this podcast is our playbook.
So I was in church on Sunday, and our pastor talked about this. It's the end of the Sermon on the Mount. So we were talking about mammon, and I had never really gone deep in this. I've never heard a sermon about it, and it was really powerful. What he talked about is he said, mammon is the spirit of greed. So then he asked, what does this false god of greed provide to you? And I was like, wow, I don't know. Luke chapter 12:15 talks about being on guard against greed. And so greed seeps into our hearts and we don't even know it's there. And so as he kept talking, I kept thinking about this, and I really wrestle with this. And I know a lot of people have come up to me at events and at our mastermind meetings and just emailing me saying, hey, I really am building this business. I'm making a lot of money, but I'm really struggling with the amount of money that's coming in and how well I'm doing. And I really feel like I'm moving and turning away from God. So that has been the thing that I've been trying to figure out how to answer for years. And I feel like this did a really good job of it. And on Thanksgiving, really, we have an opportunity to really be grateful for everything that we have and everyone around us and everything that we're doing. But spiritually, there's a piece of trying to figure out and navigate that route. So here's some things that he talked about. He said, here's 5 things that you can ask to see if you're wrestling with greed. So if greed has seeped into your heart, right, and you don't even know it's there. The first one was saying, are you prioritizing your financial growth over your spiritual growth? And this is the one that hit me pretty hard. I am very focused on my business and finances and things like that. But internally, I feel like it's the impact that I'm trying to make on people. It's what I'm trying to leave behind. And money is a byproduct of service. So if I can serve really well and if I can make a big impact, then money is the byproduct of that comes from that. But I have really struggled with this of prioritizing my financial growth over my spiritual growth. I don't spend as much time on my spiritual growth in the Bible and studying that and learning that and thinking about that as I do on my business and growing and developing. And so I feel like I could be guilty of this for sure. The second one was unethical behavior for financial gains. I don't feel like this is a problem for me at all. I think the business ethics side of my life is impeccable. I really do think that I spend a lot of time trying to be ethical in my business dealings, and I never let that seep. I lose money before I'll do something unethical for sure. And so that's one, but that's something that can be, some people may struggle with, is this unethical behavior or kind of riding the line of what's okay and what's not okay if there's a financial gain there. So you know what, it's kind of gray area. I think I'm going to lean towards one side to make some money. So that's the second one. The third one is constant anxiety and worry about finances. So if you're constantly anxious and worried about your finances, it could be a sign of this spirit, of this mammon, the spirit of greed seeping into our heart. The fourth one was financial envy and comparison. And I will say, I have been guilty of this in the past. Financial envy and comparison, like the haves and have-nots. It's so easy these days with social media and everything that's going on for us to fall into that trap. It's really, really easy to fall into that trap these days because it's in front of us all the time. When I was growing up, we didn't have all of these the window to the world was not open like it is right now. And so I couldn't see what was going on. I couldn't see what everyone else was doing. So financial envy and comparison is something that is pretty easy trap to fall in these days. And that could be that spirit of greed seeping into our heart, right? And the last one is a lack of generosity, especially to those in need. So lack of generosity, especially to those in need, where we're kind of like hoarding the money and we're like, you know what, we'll give to the needy. We'll give when we have enough, but we don't have enough right now. So I'm not going to give a lot. And so I think there's been a season of my life where I was like that sometimes. I feel like I've tried to been overly generous and openly generous, especially since I've had kids and setting the right example for them. But these 5 areas, so prioritizing financial growth over spiritual growth, unethical behavior for financial gains, constant anxiety and worry about finances, financial envy and comparison, and a lack of generosity, especially to those in need. These are the 5 areas that we have to sit down and say, are any of these true for us? And if so, what's going on and how can we make a change? So there's a couple stats that I thought were really incredible. One was at $60,000 a year. So if you're making $60,000 a year or more, you're in the top 1% of the world in income. You're making more than 1%, like 99% of the planet. And so $60,000 or more, most of us are like, oh, I'm only making $60,000. I need to make $100,000. So at $60,000 or more, like we are totally blessed. We're totally blessed to live where we live, to have the opportunities that we have, and to make what we make. And so I think a lot of you that are listening will understand that it's really like we really have a huge opportunity here in the U.S. and that most, like 99% of the planet doesn't have. We're making more than them, most of us. And so to most of the world, we're rich. Like we are rich. And honestly, to most of the world is actually happier than we are. They're actually happier than we are. And what we're constantly like chasing and striving and trying to grow and develop and make more money and more and more and more. And so these 5 things are really powerful for us to look at. So if we can go from that lens that we are the top 1% and the fact that we have one of the highest suicide rates, we have one of the highest depression rates and anxiety and all these things, but we're the top 1% of the population for income, a lot of us, and money. I think that God wants us to enjoy what we have, but not worship it. So enjoy it, but not worship it. And if we can do that, there's a few things that the pastor gave me that I want to just pass on to you. And they might sound obvious, but if we sit in this, it's especially today on day of Thanksgiving, on everything that we have going on, it's absolutely incredible. These 3 things I'm doing this week right now, these 7 days of gratitude. I'm going live on Facebook every single morning and talking about being grateful. And I'm sitting in this every single morning, and it has changed a lot for me. These past 2 days have been incredible for me. So the first one is to practice contentment. So practice actually being content with what we have. Not what we don't have, not worrying about what we don't have, but spending all the time in what we have. And if we can practice being content with what we have, then it's not the have-nots. Like we are totally blessed with all of the things that we have, the life that we have, the opportunity that we have, the family that we have, all of these things. Like being content with what we have and not worrying about what we don't have, but spend so much more time thinking about all the things that we do have. And if we can do that, step 1. Step 2, practice gratitude. So today, it's a great day. Like I love Thanksgiving because every year we can come together and talk about what we're most grateful for. And if we can practice gratitude every day, not just one day a year, right? All 365 days of the year, then you can't be grateful and angry and upset at the same time. You can't be grateful and anxious at the same time. You can't be grateful and frustrated at the same time. You're just grateful. And you're in a positive mindset. And so if we can sit in that gratitude like I have been every single morning and just figure like, what am I grateful for? And you're ever feeling down, just lift yourself up, think about what you're grateful for, all the people around you, all the things, like all of the stuff that you have going on that's positive, think about what you're grateful for. All the people that have helped you in the past. So step 1, practice contentment, being content with what we have. Step 2, practice gratitude. And step 3, practice generosity. So how can we give back with time or money or resources? Like how can we give to those that are in need? And if we can practice all 3 of these things, contentment, generosity, and gratitude, then we will not have a problem in those other 5 things. where we're looking at the have-nots, right? We're figuring, like, we're not giving to the poor. We're not we're prioritizing financial gain versus spiritual gain. This is a very spiritual exercise. Being content, practicing gratitude, practicing generosity, very spiritual. And so that's really where I'm focused, which I love, is focus on what you have, not what you don't have. Focus on what you're grateful for, what has God given you right now, and focus on giving. So that's what my week this week has been, and it has been incredible. I've enjoyed it. I've had experiences and interactions with people that I never would have crossed paths with, by opening up in prayer, asking for what kind of generosity can I do today? What can I do today to be generous to somebody who needs it more than I do? And the interactions and experiences that I've had are miracles, frankly, like true miracles, and of people whose days have been changed, whose weeks have been changed just because of a small interaction and something that they were given, like a small care package, a little thing that has gone a long way for them. So what could you do? And what I love is that I have this platform to hopefully challenge you guys out there to do the exact same thing. I want to challenge you to practice contentment. I want to challenge you to practice gratitude. And I want to challenge you to practice generosity, whether it's today, but not just today on Thanksgiving, but all year. So, I mean, really, it should be like the 365-day challenge of gratitude every single day. So for me, I just want to extend this, a little bit of the sermon that I got from my pastor, which I thought was incredible. Some very actionable 5 steps to do a quick litmus test. And then the 3 things that we can go out and do every single day. Like, you can do this every day. And whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling anxious, whenever you're feeling like, oh, I'm not getting that deal, like, sit in these 3 things. And I bet that it will be provided for you. Like, a door will open, a light will shine, that there will be direction. You'll get direction in that moment. So a little prayer, a little practicing contentment, a little practicing gratitude, and a little bit of generosity will go a long way in your life and your business. And I think with all of that, we could go a lot deeper into some of the kingdom economy and some of the things that are going on for us when we're thinking about money more than God. But I'm telling you right now, if you practice these things, like, you'll start moving over into that kingdom economy and start being blessed. The stewardship that you provide, like, God blesses you with something, you're going to get more. You do a good job with it, you'll get more. And so I'm excited for today at Thanksgiving to be around friends and my family and all the things that we have planned. We're going on a Disney cruise next week that I'm really excited about. We're launching a young entrepreneur mastermind coming up. Just all the things I'm insanely excited about. But today it's all about gratitude, it's all about giving, and it's all about practicing contentment. So have a great day. Have a great Thanksgiving with you and your family. I'm so thankful and blessed that you are here, that you're listening, and that you're sharing these messages with other people, and that I get to have a platform and continue to record these podcasts and these shows. And I've got some really incredible things coming up that I'm excited about. I've been recording a bunch of episodes for you all, and I can't wait for the future. 2023, the rest of 2023 is going to be absolutely amazing, and 2024 is looking so bright for us. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a great time and a great Thanksgiving with you and your family. And if you're listening to this after, I hope you had a great time. So I'll see you on the next show. Bye.